All right, so let's get started. I want to thank you again for joining me today for how to prepare for and excel at a job fair. I put together a motivational and informational webinar for you today in preparation for the job fair on Thursday. And so you know, the webinar will take around 30 minutes. And just a reminder, the doors open in Baltimore and Nashville at 11 a.m. local time, and the event runs until 3 p.m. Also, it's a good idea to show up just a few minutes ahead of time to find parking and get ready. Plus, our representative at the hiring event will have a few words of encouragement and direction, and you don't want to miss that. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Chris Nunn, the Director of Veteran and Community Engagement with Recruit Military, and I will be your host today for this webinar. If you have any questions, there will be a time at the end for you to ask, and I'll be sure to answer all of them. So, today we're going to cover several topics to help you successfully navigate and officially tackle the career fair on Thursday. We will discuss preparation before the event, how to interact with the recruiters, and the importance of following up. So first, and you're going to hear me say this at least 5 more times during this webinar, once the doors open, be prepared to talk to every booth. Each booth is different, and you never know what they're going to have to offer. So now for a little advice on how to tackle the career fair successfully. When we attend a career fair, you need goals. Without goals, you'll find you don't attack the career fair in an organized manner. So to start setting up a goal, you need to be specific as you can. You must be specific in what you want to achieve. Make sure that your goal is measurable. Ask yourself, what is it that you want to accomplish? You also need to make sure, and this is a hard thing to do, that your goal is achievable or attainable. Ask yourself, is it realistic? You need to make sure that your goal is relevant and it applies to you. For example, if your background is in logistics, expecting to be a web developer might not be in your skill set. Lastly, make sure your goal is timely or that it has a completion date. We call this the setting of a SMART goal. If you skip any step, it'll be difficult to stay on task and achieve the desired outcome. So, an example of a goal. At the Baltimore Atlanta Career Fair, I will visit every booth and I will walk away with 15 contacts. I will then follow the directions of those 15 contacts and secure one follow-up interview. So is it specific? Yes. Is it measurable? Yes, because you will make 15 contacts and one follow-up interview. Is it achievable? Yes, I can assure you from experience it is absolutely achievable. I actually set these numbers on a very low scale so that you couldn't be disappointed. Is it relevant? Well, you would not be attending the career fair if it wasn't relevant. And does it have a time frame? Yes, because at the career fair and immediately, and I stress the word immediately following, is your time frame for this. So, without setting reasonable goals, it may be difficult to stay motivated. If you're not realistic, you could lose motivation really quick. In a few minutes, you're going to hear me give my elevator pitch and learn a little bit about me. However, one of the many hats I wear is that I'm a skydive instructor. And with that experience comes the ability to talk over 9,000 people to do something that's way outside their norm, and that's to get out of an airplane. And I've done this with one simple tactic: being motivated and being confident. To get people to believe in you, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to be motivated and being confident. Now, you don't need to have a Harvard degree to be successful at a career fair, even though a Harvard degree might help. You just need to be motivated and be confident. So, when you're prepared and you know you're prepared, you will find that you have more confidence, and recruiters will sense that. So, to build our confidence, we start by putting together a good resume. And there's many services out there that can help, including the one provided by Recruit Military, but that's not always necessary. There's a plethora of information out there on the internet that gives some good basic advice. In general, your resume should be no more than 2 pages. Bullet points work best, and avoid paragraphs. Break down your resume by position, including the different responsibilities or duties you had in the military, as well as different civilian jobs you've had. Remember, quantify and qualify your achievements. For example, did you make your organization more efficient by saving time, money, or other resources? Can you estimate the savings as hours, days, dollars, or any other type of unit? If so, make sure you include it. Recruiters not only like to see where you've been, but they'd like to see what you've accomplished. And most importantly, and I can't stress this enough, make sure you check for spelling errors. Also, be proud of what you've accomplished. Remember, you served your country, and it's something we should all be proud of. Now, as I said before, preparation leads to confidence. Be prepared to tell the recruiter about yourself. You do this with an elevator pitch. The goal of an elevator pitch is to introduce yourself and your experience to a potential employer and to spark interest in further conversation. Now, there's 4 parts to an elevator pitch. First, you need to introduce yourself personally. 2, provide a brief history of your experience. 3, apply your experience to potential positions. And 4, request an interview. Remember, your elevator pitch is a brief introduction. Don't pack all of your experience or your entire job history into those 30 seconds. Your goal is to spark interest in further dialogue, and it's at that point you can share greater detail. Be sure to use active verbs such as I led, I carried out, and I managed. Now, your experiences may be different than mine. However, I'm going to give you my elevator pitch just so you can hear an example and see what's included. Hi, I'm Chris Nunn, and I am the Director of Veteran and Community Engagement with Recruit Military. I'm an Army veteran and served as a mechanized infantryman. After the Army, I earned 2 undergrad degrees, one in web graphic design and another in multimedia design and development. I also hold a master's degree in project management from Keller Graduate School. I am a visiting professor at DeVry University, teaching blended learning classes in Microsoft applications, business, and other management classes. When not at Recruit Military or in a college classroom, I'm also a professional skydiver and pilot. I've accumulated 4,500 hours of flight time and over 10,400 skydives, including performing in NASCAR races and reality TV shows. My diverse experience in multiple industries qualifies me to lead a team in many different environments. Now, we all practice our elevator pitch, but at what point does it seem scripted and seem impersonal? In some cases, we can seem so rehearsed that we come off not genuine. On the other side of the coin, not rehearsing, we may find ourselves rambling, which can make us seem unfocused. The key is to rehearse the points. Rehearse the information, and remember, keep it flexible depending on the person we're speaking with. Now, with practice and preparation, you'll gain more confidence. Now, another way to gain confidence is to dress for success. When attending a career fair, make sure you dress for success. A first impression is a lasting impression, because employers realize that you might not ever look better than you do for the job interview. Therefore, the rationale can be made that it's only going to go downhill from there. So if recruiters see you in a jeans and a t-shirt, you're only hurting yourself. And even if you're not looking for that suit and tie type job, dressing up for the interview shows you care, and it should show attention to detail. And if you don't own a suit, dress using dress pants and a dress shirt. Do the best you can. For women, wear business attire, neutral colors, flats or low heels. And also for men, you need to stay away from a purple suit. And I use that as an example because, well, I've seen it. And while the purple suit will get you attention, it's not the type of attention you're looking for. And also when you show up, remember, even if the recruiters are not dressed up, they're there to recruit you, not the other way around. Lastly, in most cases, when you're all dressed up, you feel good about yourself. And when you feel good about yourself, the more confident you will be. So remember, dress for success. Now, another way to gain confidence is to research the different companies. Before attending a career fair, look up information on which companies will be attending the event. Get familiar with how a job fair works in general, how the booths are set up, and how recruiters talk to candidates. But remember, you'll gain experience as the job fair progresses. Now, try to print resumes tailored to specific industries. Also, get to understand the companies that are going to attend because recruiters will be impressed with your research and your knowledge of their company. And when I say research the different companies, I don't mean that you have to go out, find your annual report, and look at their cash flow statement. I just mean take a glance. Jot down a few notes about their products, the locations, and who they serve. Recruiters love to talk about their company. Now, as part of your goal when you attend a career fair, make sure you visit every booth. That's the third time I think I said it so far. I owe you 2 more. I said I'd say that 5 times. Because as you go employer to employer, you will gain practice and experience talking to the recruiters. By the time you finish at the last booth, you will find you've greatly improved your elevator pitch and learn what employers are looking for. You'll practice applying your experience to a variety of different jobs and fields. Also, keep an open mind. Kroger may be hiring accountants, a defense contractor, a chef. Educational institutions may be hiring admissions counselors or military relations specialists. You just never know until you talk to the company what they have to offer. I attended a career fair at the end of last year, end of December, and while I was there, I heard this candidate say, you know, I've been all over this place and I cannot find an IT job. There's just no IT jobs here. I went and I walked maybe 3 or 4 booths down, and I then heard an employer say, I'm the head of IT for my company and I can't find an IT person. Now, granted, his company didn't say it was an IT business. So the IT people did not go and talk to this gentleman. He was there for a bank. So I went and I found that guy that I heard say, I'm looking for an IT position. And I grabbed him and yanked him over there to that guy and said, here, talk to him. It ended up that the guy got the job. But he would not have gotten that had I not overheard that, because he didn't have an open mind. He thought, why would I go to a bank for an IT type job? They only hire, accountants and tellers and things like that. He didn't have an open mind. So when you go there with an open mind and visit every booth. That's number 4. Now, also, remember that that company is there to meet you. They wouldn't be attending the career fair if they weren't interested. Now, if a recruiter asks you to apply online, stay enthusiastic. If a recruiter asks you to apply online to his or her company, the recruiter is really not brushing you off. In fact, being asked to apply online or to email your resume in is a good sign, because many companies require their recruiters to gather applications electronically for several reasons. First, to obtain HR information is required by law, and second, so they can direct desirable job seekers to different departments. Being asked to be applied for you to apply online, it also acts as a test to you, the job seeker, in your interest in that specific opportunity. So tell the recruiter that you'll comply, thank them, and then apply. Then follow up, making sure they received it, reminding them of who you are. So how does this all come together? When you begin going booth to booth, have your resume and a notepad ready. Hand your resume to the recruiter while smiling and looking them in the eye. Introduce yourself with your elevator pitch, then let the recruiter talk to you. Have a conversation and be sure to listen. It's easy to be eager and want to do all the talking, but remember, we learn nothing by talking. We learn by listening. So jot down a few notes about the conversation on your notepad, and after being told to go apply online, thank the recruiter and then move to the next booth. Repeat this cycle for the duration of the event. When you get home, apply for the positions you're interested in and immediately, and I mean immediately, send an email to your contact at the career fair thanking them for taking the time to talk to you at the Baltimore Nashville Career Fair. It includes something specific you wrote down about your conversation. This will remind them of who you are, and they'll be watching for that online application to come across their desk. because this is how you work a career fair. If you go booth to booth, treating it like a flea market, collecting the chip clips and pens that are on the desks, you'll go home with a bunch of junk and without a potential job. If you go there prepared to work and enthusiastic, you'll go home with possibilities and soon a potential job. Now, for more information on your specific event, visit recruitmilitary.com/Baltimore or recruitmilitary.com/Nashville. There, you're going to see a full list of the employers that are there. Now, I'm sure that after this webinar is over, you're going to think of a question. It happens to everybody. Feel free to email me your question at chris.nunn@recruitmilitary.com, and I'll be sure to answer it. But out of the, let me see how many people are in here. Out of the 27 people that are in here, I'm sure somebody has the same question that you do. So here's where I open it up to questions, and if you can, ask. That way everybody can hear the answer. Okay, first question is, do I need to bring a copy of my DD-214? The answer is no, you don't. As you do the onboarding process with the company, you're probably going to be required to provide it once you get hired. But at this time, for the interview stage, for the career fair stage, they're going to believe that you're a veteran because you're attending a veteran career fair. Next question. Should I bring business cards to hand to the recruiters? The answer to that is yes and no. One, bring business cards if you want, but two, they're not for the recruiters. Recruiters want to see a resume. They want to see what you've done and what you've accomplished. Handing them a business card is pretty useless to them because they can go online and get a name and phone number. They want to know about you. However, the business cards are great to handing to other veterans that are there and network with them because you can see where they were. Maybe if you can get in contact with other veterans, you can find out where they're successful, where they're looking, where they might have gotten hired. And so it's a great networking opportunity to find information from other veterans. Next question comes in. I currently have a beard. Should I shave it for the event? Well, that's a tricky one. If you ask the question, should you shave it, that must mean you're willing to shave it. And if you are, you can't go wrong. However, in today's day and age, people expect clean-cut beards and goatees are just a style choice. And most recruiters, they'll see that as a style choice and be absolutely fine with it. But you never know. You might have that one recruiter out there that wants to see somebody clean-shaven at the event. So you just never know. However, if you've got the whole ZZ Top thing going on, you might want to evaluate what opportunities you're going to find at the career fair. Any other questions? Do I need to have a cover letter for resumes? The answer is no, not for the career fair, because a cover letter is specific to an opportunity that you're applying for and why you feel you're qualified for that opportunity. Being that you're going to the career fair to find the opportunities that might not necessarily be online and go find out what the recruiters are actually hiring for, you wouldn't know what the specific opportunity is. So all you would really have would be a form letter that, they'll see right through that. So all you really need is a copy of your resume, and make sure you have one for every single employer there. Next question. Should I print the resume on resume paper? Well, here's how you kind of got to look at that. While the resume paper might not mean anything as far as a style choice, it's almost a little bit of a smart move, because when the recruiters go home with that stack of resumes, they're going to have a whole lot of sheets of paper. But if yours is printed on that thicker paper, guess which one's going to stand out in that stack of resumes that they've got in their hand? That's going to be the one that feels the thickest, and it might just inadvertently find its way on top. In which part of the talking process should I give them my resume? You walk up, hand your resume to the recruiter and introduce yourself while looking him in the eye and smiling. Hand it to him right off the bat. Next question. Do we have any more? I know you guys got to have other questions. How do you ask for an interview in the elevator pitch? Well, you do that inadvertently. You don't just say, hey, can I have an interview? You explain why you're qualified for their company inadvertently, such as you may have heard me end. My experience in multiple different backgrounds qualifies me to lead a team in many different environments. And with that, they should come back and follow up and start asking you questions. And when they ask you their questions, that's when you begin asking for the interview. Any other questions? All right. Well, if there's no further questions, I want to wish you luck on Thursday. Again, be prepared, practice, and dress for success. Make sure that you visit every single booth because you don't know what the company's going to have to offer. That was number 5. I promised you'd say that 5 times because it's one of the most important parts of attending the career fair. Remember, spending the time before the career fair will increase your confidence and put you a step above many that didn't take the initiative. Attending this webinar is the first step in showing your dedication to finding that new job or career that you're looking for. After we close this webinar, there's going to be a short little survey, and this is actually the first week out of all the webinars I've done. I threw a little survey in there. If you could, answer it for me. I'm curious to see your feedback. And remember, email me at chris.nunn@recruitmilitary.com. Even if you don't have a question, email me and let me know how the career fair went. I love to hear from the people that attended these webinars and hear that they were successful, or hear how I might be able to improve the webinar so that I can give you some tips that I might not have given. So again, thank you for being here and good luck on Thursday. Thank you, Jose.